just thinking a little bit about our intention for the class. So see how you feel for this morning. How do you feel this morning? And what are you seeking from this hour of Pilates? So ask yourself that question as you gently breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. All right, so just starting to calm the thoughts, letting everything settle as you breathe in and exhale. Of course, closing your eyes if you want to, guys, so you don't need to obviously look at me or anything for the moment. So if you need to, just close your eyes and see how you feel under the soles of the feet. Are you nice and relaxed? Do you feel a little bit more weight in the heels? And as you breathe in, imagine yourself almost lifting up and away from the soles of the feet. So letting the space, letting the lift come through the whole of the body as you breathe in. Well done. Trying to maintain that height. Okay, as soon as you stop the inhale, just think, I'm going to pause with this lovely space in my body, and then exhale and let everything just sweep out and around you. Okay, so still see if you can feel that sense of maintaining your height. All righty. So what I'm going to ask you to do, just looking to add on slightly from last week with our slightly different setup, as you breathe in this next time, I'd like you simply to lift your arms to your side into a T. So as you inhale, you lift the arms up and then just gently float them back down to your thighs, to your side. So just breathing in, no great things to think about particularly, but as you just lift the arms, imagine yourself also lifting through the crown of the head. So just breathing in, lifting and elevating the arms to shoulder height and back down. Just 2 more, breathing in and exhale. And last time, when we let the hands settle by our sides, and just consider for me your zipping and hollowing. As you exhale for the next 3 breaths, just drawing in through the core and gently up underneath the pelvic floor. Excuse me. And breathing in. Exhale, zipping through the pelvic floor area, in through the core with 1 more breath in. Exhale, and then open your eyes, bring yourselves back in to the room. Lovely. Okay, so let's go ahead and find that side lift 1 more time, taking your arms to your sides up to your shoulder height. And now we're going to just think about reaching the fingertips away from each other. Okay, so feel a gentle pull, perhaps through the bicep, you might feel it, maybe through the elbow, through the fingertips. Well done. Okay, and now I'd like you to breathe in, and as you breathe in, just rotate so your palms come up towards the sky with a breath in. And as you exhale, rotate the arms so the palms head as far as they can in the opposite direction. So it might not be very far at all, perhaps the back of the room, maybe the floor if you're hypermobile. But if you are just being conscious, you don't overextend or rotate. Okay, so just breathing in, palms up, exhale, see how far you go with that rotation. Okay, so we're keeping the shoulder girdle nice and still for the moment, and see how much movement you have in this humerus bone, this big guy here in your shoulder joint. Okay, we're going to add on slightly. So come to palms facing down where we just regroup. Nice. Okay, so we're going to breathe in, and as we do, turn our palms to the sky and lift our gaze. So now when we start to have a little bit of back extension, we can probably then get a bit further. Now, as we then take our gaze, our palms in the opposite direction, rotation towards the back of the room, we lower the gaze towards our toes. Okay, so you're just thinking of rotating the arm and letting the gaze come with you as the palms are up. Look up. As the palms head back or down, look down. Now you might even start to feel like these palms can get all the way round. Perhaps as you look down to your toes, the palms can almost start to head all the way back up to the ceiling in that 360. Okay, so you see how much these are connected, how allowing the shoulders to get, or the back to have some movement allows the shoulder to get a deeper range. Okay, last one. Sure, the arms are tiring slightly here. Come back to settle, palms by your side, and release the hands back down. Gorgeous. Okay, that's probably woken up the shoulders. Let's go ahead and think about our feet. If you know balance is an issue, please go ahead and just make a contact with a wall or something nearby you, maybe something that's not also wobbly. And we're going to take ourselves into knee raise. Okay, so regroup through the core pelvic floors and into a toe touch on the left side. So perhaps starting with a lift of the heel, maybe into toe touch, and then place that leg back down. Go ahead now onto the right, via perhaps the ball of the foot and into toe touch and back down. Feel still, okay? So this bit's the nice introduction where you're just talking to your brain about what's about to happen. Then we engage through the core, make sure these are guys are fired up, especially the pelvic floors, because we're looking at pelvic stability. Now on the left, we're going to go into a knee raise. So when you're there in your toe touch, lift your knee to your maximum range, okay? So everyone is different. Place that foot back down and switch sides. I'm trying to see if I can get you guys to imagine yourself keeping that pelvis nice and horizontal to the floor, but also try not to rock and roll from side to side. So feeling nice and centered as you lift. And we're pausing with this next time. I don't mind which knee it is, but go ahead and pause with your knee lifted in your maximum range. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take our hand, and it's the same hand as the knee that's lifted, and pop it on the inside edge of that knee. Now think strong thoughts through your supporting standing leg and just opening out this knee to the side, and feel that opening out through the front of the pelvis, through the front of the hip bellies, in tight shoulder blades back and down. So say, do touch onto something if you need to for support. Bring that leg back into center and release that down. Switching sides, breathe in. And go ahead and find your level of knee raise. Okay, remember, all different. Same hand as the knee that's elevated. Go ahead and touch the inside of the thigh and just ease it out to the side. Strong through your supporting legs, shoulder blades back and down, belly in. That gives us a nice trunk to stand on. And then bring this leg back into center and release that down. Gorgeous. Okay, bending your knees slightly for me. We're going to just do a small roll down, one single roll down here, tucking your chin into your throat space, allowing your chin now to come down that chest plate, curling down, and we're heading into a soft knee roll down just to protect that lower spine for a moment. Hang out here for a moment, let the head go. If you know you like to swing around a little bit and feel like you've really started to just hang into that roll down, then go ahead. If you'd rather have your fingertips on the floor for security, then keep them planted. And either which way now, bring in the pelvic floors, guys. So drawing up the pelvic stability, then the belly comes in for our lower spine stability, and then you restack, imagining one vertebrae coming up and restacking at a time and into standing. Okay, go ahead and pop your hands into your Cossack position. Turn to the middle of turn along the length of your mat. We're going to bring ourselves into sitting. In the Pilates technique, we're going to be taking one foot behind the other. I don't mind which. And if you know what's coming, don't worry. We're going to let our knees head towards the side of us in a frog leg position and slowly let those knees come down like a scissor lift, and you are onto your mat. If it's a bit of an graceful collapse, don't worry too much. Okay, and we are sitting. All righty, just go ahead, just hug around your knees for me. Now, it might be a hug, it might be a hold of around the kneecaps. Below the kneecaps, I don't mind. But just for a moment, just bring your nose down to your knees, okay? And it's just a kind of comfortable release of the lower spine, maybe your chin into your throat space, notice and aware that, of course, we're opening the spine out to the back of us. So just hold here for a moment. Okay, just going to breathe into that space. And then we're all going to pop our hands now behind the back of our thighs and sit nice and tall. Okay, all righty. All righty, so holding behind the back of the knees, I want you now to just find that pull, a slight pull through the top of the head, maybe shoulder blades back and down, and the lift for the lower lumbar spine. Once you've got that lift, I would like you now to have your hands out to the front. If you know now that your legs are starting to get a bit uncomfortable, hip flexors a bit naggly, let the legs come slightly further away, even flex the toes slightly up to the sky. Okay, that will help. All righty. So you're sitting nice and tall. I would like you now to imagine your shoulder blades. Can you draw your shoulder blades together behind you, squeezing them together, and then press the shoulder blades forwards, separating them as much as you can. Shoulder blades come together in retraction, and then forwards, protraction, forwards come the fingertips. Now then, when we do this here, of course, we are isolating these shoulder blades around the rib cage area. We're not getting any further. Okay, especially forwards by dropping the chin to chest. Okay, so at the moment, stay really tall. Think about height through the spine. Yeah, nice. As you just shoulder blade manipulation. And then come to settle in your halfway house. All righty. Please, can you just hinge now? Remember, this is not a C curve. Hinge slightly so your gaze lifts. And we're talking a small distance, not very far. Right arm now is going to lift up to the sky. It's going to go via your temple and sweep to the back right corner of your mat where your gaze follows. And you can perhaps look slightly over that right shoulder. Good, nice. Come back to your start position. Remember, in a slight hinge. Okay, and your arms are front, a slight hinge back, belly is in, left arm up now, lifting, rotation to the back left corner, a little gaze over that left shoulder, tummy's in, you're still nice and long through the spine, and we have one more each way. Remember, if you need to, you can take those legs away from you slightly, you can lift the toes to the sky and dig the heels in. Another way to just spread that weight, okay, perhaps spread the pressure. Okay, if you're finding any in the hips. And last one, and come back through to center. Pop your hands behind the back of your legs one more time and just lift into your upright position. Nice. Okay. So from here, guys, we are going to think about that shoulder blade division. A moment ago, we worked with our arms moving forwards and backwards. We're now going to pin these hands here. Lift your elbows to your sides. Okay, so the elbows are elevated, but keep the shoulders low. So you've created this kind of elegant, graceful circle of opening around the front, the inside of those arms. Yeah, nice. And across the collarbones, of course. So no lumbar movement here. I want you now to see if you can practice the opening of the shoulder blades. So you've pushed your shoulder blades behind you and split them. So you've got a big gap between the shoulder blades, and then a press of the heart space forwards where your shoulder blades squeeze together. Okay, so just the same as you did with your arms forwards. However, now we haven't got those arms to guide us. You now need to use your muscle memory to just find the protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades. Do you understand? Does that make sense? Yes, looking good. So the elbows are high. Your shoulders themselves, the tips of the shoulders are set, and you're moving your rib cage forwards and backwards, pausing halfway between the two. Right, now folks, I would like you now to divide your shoulder blades so you are thinking of the space between the shoulder blades being really wide. Now we're going to bring that belly to spine and start to curve the lower back, the C curve. There you've got your full C curve. Okay, now here's the tricky bit. Without moving your shoulder blades, can you now come out of your C curve with the belly button and then lift the shoulder blades? Really breaking it down. Okay, elbows high. What's happened to these elbows? Elbows high. Nice. Okay, shoulder blades first. Let's divide the shoulder blades, okay, as if you're trying to make space between the shoulder blades. Then belly button to spine, so you add in the lower spine C-curve stretch. Nice. Now lift your belly button so that you're out of your C-curve, and then pull the shoulder blades slightly together to find your lift. Okay, this last time we're going to bring it all in together and then roll down. So let's divide the shoulder blades first, isolating the upper thoracic spine. Then add in the lumbar spine, pulling the belly button in. Now we're going to continue down, 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 down with this lovely, really open back, I hope, down onto your mat. And we are lying down. Wonderful. Okay, finding yourself in this lying down position. Okay, what I want you to do is take your hands, and for all intents and purposes, I like to imagine that in the old days, and the kids, maybe not appropriate right now, but you used to play kind of cowboys with a gun position. 4 fingers are together, thumbs are together, and your hands are kind of this imaginary interlaced fingers, one pointing. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if I explained that very well, but hands are together and towards the sky, but they're interlaced to give you some intention, okay, and some connection. Once you've got these hands above your shoulder blades, bring your shoulder blades back and down. Okay, and find neutral spine for me, please. So you've got that little Malteser in the lower back, nice and safe there in that lower back, because you've got a space, you've got your belly in, your pelvic floors are strong, and you're really connected rib cage through to pelvis. Yeah, does that make sense? Nice. Okay, from here we're going to just breathe in, keep the shoulder blades down, lift your right leg into tabletop, and place that foot back down. And we're going to switch to the left leg. Breathe in, exhale, single left leg lift. Okay, so you could think, well, this is super easy, but two things. One is, as you lift each leg into tabletop, have a think at the same time about both shoulder blades pinning themselves down. Okay, think about that connection in the shoulder blades. keeping the rib cage stable. Can you also think about the pulling down of the base or the bottom of the rib cage towards your pelvis? So as you exhale and lift, you're connected to counterbalance behind the shoulder blades, and you're pulling everything down like a concertina into your middle using your inner trunk muscles. Okay, pausing this time when both feet are on the floor. We're now going to add in single leg extension. Staying in neutral, breathe in, take your right leg and reach that right leg so it's in a small hover, so a centimeter off the mat, reaching towards the end, and you are in neutral. Come back in and switch. Breathe in, exhale, single leg extension on the other side. And can you really feel that pulling of the leg away from the pelvis, reaching and stretching, but also then the connecting response through the rest of the body? So as you pull this leg along the mat, you feel that pulling down of the pelvis and the rib cage, but not by arching the back. Yeah. So again, everything's shunting down in neutral spine. Gorgeous. Okay, bring both legs back into your start position. Okay, so now we've done the prep. You're in neutral, your Maltese is intact, shoulder blades are down. Can you go ahead and lift your left leg towards the sky and your right leg, sorry, beg your pardon, your left leg to the sky, right leg along the mat. So you're into this scissor position. Now, this is when we're going to now think about those shoulder blades a little bit more. Pin them down. Take your leg now towards the right. So you're going to go all the way to, well, as far as you can to the right. Shoulder blades staying down and arms are straight, come back to center and the leg goes to the left. So you're kind of like a pendulum tick-tock, left and right. You're pressing with your lengthened leg into the mat, perhaps the heel, perhaps the bottom. Okay, maybe not getting a huge touch point on the back of the knee, but it's that feeling of the leg being down on the mat as you take your leg that's to the sky from the left to the right. Shoulder blades down, challenged, another level up from the last couple of weeks because we've got no bookends, no hands on the mat, no T with our arms to our sides, and come to center this last time. Okay, we are going to stay in neutral for our single leg circles. Connect to the shoulder blades, arms are straight, leg is long, pinned on the mat. Let's go ahead, single leg circle. See how this feels. Well done. Again, like last week, these will not be big circles, okay? But the challenge this week is your stability. You're using all your other muscles to stabilize you. We're going to just do one more and then we're going to switch direction. Okay, so when you're ready, switching direction. Okay, controlling with the shoulders, controlling with the pelvis, controlling with the leg on the mat, and then come back to center. Bending that leg, place it down on the mat. Okay, if you need to just give your arms a little moment to rest, go ahead, regroup, make sure you're nice and in neutral. Arms come back to the sky and up goes your right leg. Left leg is along the mat, pinning down the heel of the left foot if you can. Shoulder blades down and starting off with left to right, just the lateral movement. The left, the leg heading to the left and then over to the right. Okay, see how you feel on this side. Okay, we're trying to think about everything by being nice and still in the body, and this single limb is doing the work from side to side. How are we doing? Nice. Feel that lovely control through the pelvis as we come back to center this next time. All righty, readiness for circles. Square yourself up if you need to. Breathing in and exhale. Let's single leg circle on the right leg. Okay, round we go. Again, conscious of that lovely pushing down of the shoulder blades, the connection with the heel, the pelvis on the mat. Switching directions here for 4. Are your arms still strong? Are they pinning the shoulder blades down? Yeah, nice. Last single leg. Well done. And pause there. Place your foot back down the mat and bring your arms down by your sides. Well done. And bring your other leg in. Okay. Please bring your knees, both knees, into your chest, hooking around just below the around the lower leg. Bring your nose into your knees and just have a little rock forwards and backwards or side to side here for a moment. Okay, so Pause here for a second, please. I want you to see if you can bring your knees in a little bit closer to your nose. Okay, so as you relax, as the hip flexors and the hip joints relax, you might find you can get those knees in a little bit more. Can that hug come a bit closer? Knees are trying to be friends if they can. Okay, if they don't want to get together, then that's fine. But if they can stay close, that's great. And knees and nose to knees. And maybe have another breath in. We're going to do 2 breaths. Okay, every time you exhale, can you bring those knees in a little tiny bit more? We're trying to imagine the back of the mat melting, sorry, the back of your body melting a little bit more into the mat. Every time you exhale, feel yourself just relaxing down and knees coming in. Okay, good. So from here, staying high if you can, we're going to now take our right leg with both hands and let the left leg just reach out into single leg stretch and pause. Pause, pause, pause. We are going to bring both knees in, bringing those knees in one more time. Breathe in. And now the other leg is away. Okay, so I want to make sure you pause with both knees in between. If you do need to pop your head down, please do. Bring both knees in, check that you can now pull them a little bit closer and switch. So I'm interested this week in the knees coming in towards you, a little bit more than speed or a little bit more than the stretch. Okay, so as the knees come in, pull them tight, relax the lower back, relax the back on the mat, and switch. And last one, breathing in, exhale. And then from here, if you have your head, neck, and shoulders up, still release them back down on the mat. Well done. Placing one foot down on the mat and then the other. Gorgeous. Just pause with your hands by your sides, feet on the mat. I'd like you to look over your right shoulder, please. Just let the neck roll. So your head look over to the right and then bring your gaze to center and look to the left. Just a gentle neck roll. One more time to the right. And then one more time to the left. So we're going to bring ourselves into sitting. You may want to just roll your knees towards the side of you to bring yourself up and peeling to sitting. You may just want to fish around for those knees one more time. Lift your nose and just with a couple of rocks of the tailbone and the head, we are into sitting. Okay, good stuff. All righty. So guys, we're going to just come back to the sitting position for the last time. And we're going to explore a little bit more with our hinge. Okay, so I want you to find again the hands behind the back of the knees. And this is really that sense of making sure you've got the lift in the lower spine. Okay, sometimes it's kind of hard to just do it by yourself. Growing through the crown of the head, find that space, decompress the spine. Yeah, find that space. And then hinge back. Okay, so you're going to hinge back, and the arms are kind of going to go into probably a full extension there or thereabouts. That's your maximum hinge. I don't want you really to go any further than that. Fire up the belly. Is that guy in? Is that pulled in? Have you got your pelvic floors in? I hope so. Nice. Now from here, we are going to now really use our hands to help us as we lift one leg into tabletop. So use your hand. Don't just use your hip flexors. Use the hand to just lift one leg into tabletop. But you're going to try not to move this upper body at all. Okay, place it back down. Breathing in, exhale the other side. So it's for all intents and purposes. It can be a foot float if you can't get it up into a tabletop level. Okay, so it might just be simply staying in hinge and a small lift. It may be that you get your leg right up into tabletop so your knee to toe is in parallel to the floor. I don't mind. Okay, one at a time. Nice. But do not let this lovely spine get involved. It is long. It is pulling away from the pelvis. It is still, we're not crunching or flexing or extending in any way. We will, however, try to attempt doubles, okay? So when you're ready, it might be a tiny foot float so you get into balance. It might be that you can bring both into tabletop. Nice. And down. If neither of those are good for you, then you're more than welcome to do a couple of things. You perhaps would want to just go with single still, or perhaps you just need the support now to pop your hands behind, of which I'm more than happy for you to do. And you can do this perhaps with your arms supporting you if it's coming into the lower back. We're into our last 2 as we lift for teaser preparation. You might have noticed, and it's our last one. Breathe in, exhale, lifting and releasing that down. Gorgeous. Okay, taking both legs forwards, roughly halfway, hip width apart for the legs for me. And just go ahead and pop your hands behind the back of your head. Okay, nice. Now again, although we're not using our legs to lift, try and use your spine, your body, your intention to lift all the vertebrae out of the pelvis as much as you can. Now from here, let's think about the shoulder blades for me. I want you to now divide the shoulder blades just like we did at the beginning of the class. Separate the shoulder blades so you're pressing the shoulder blades away from each other. Tuck your chin into your throat space. So this is the upper body now, curving in flexion, F for flexion, F forwards. Belly is in now. Pull the belly towards the back of the mat. So you might feel the upper body kind of responds and comes with you. Okay, that's fine. There you then go into your knee to nose connection, nose heading to knees, and then lift up and from the lower spine, and then shoulder blades come together as you look out. So let's break that down again. All righty, shoulder blades dividing, and chin into your throat space. Belly to spine as you add the lumbar spine curve. Nose now coming to knees, into your spine, stretch forwards and lift. From the base of the spine, shoulder blades come together. One more time. Grow tall. Split the shoulder blades as if they're dividing. Chin into your throat space. That's thoracic. Now belly to spine, pressing that lumbar spine open behind you. That's your lumbar spine. Now knees, so nose to knees or knees to nose, and we've got our spine stretch. And come back up, gorgeous, and unpeel. Nice, hands releasing from behind the head. Okay, so we're going to come into 4-point kneeling. You can either cross your legs and swing over them or draw your legs around to your side. I don't mind which way. Then we're getting into 4-point kneeling. Okay. So we've got a lovely mobilized back, we've got a lovely mobilized shoulders, and I hope pelvis. Shoulder blades back and down, belly in. Let's find that connection. Tummy in like it's velcroed to your spine. Okay. I want you to think about your right leg, okay? Currently, your right leg is bent. Your kneecap on the right there is just sitting on the mat, obviously. When I ask you now to continue to maintain your right angle at the knee, I want you to think about lifting this leg on the right at a right angle to the side, but don't lift your right hip, okay? So think of the length of your thigh bone. As you bring that knee back underneath you, you should be perfectly measured between the kneecap and the hip. Okay, the length of this thigh bone. There should be no coming back in and then having to resettle the pelvis down and readjust. Okay, so you're really thinking of the length of the thigh bone, okay, as you lift your leg to the side, and then it should fit perfectly back underneath you as you come into 4-point kneeling. Okay, so we're just lifting this leg to the side. So what we tend to see is we get a bit overzealous. We lift the hip, we want to get really high. And then as soon as you come back, of course, the hips have lost alignment and you have to dump down. So self-regulate. Try and think about there being as little readjustment when that knee comes back underneath you as you just lift this leg to the side and back. Yeah, good. Nice and calm. Nice. And to center. We've got 2 more. And final time. And pause there. We're going to work on the other side now, guys. So when you're ready, breathing in, and it's the left leg. Think about that left thigh bone as you lift your left knee to the side in a 90-degree or right angle position at the knee. You're just hovering the leg to the side and then parking it back perfectly where it started. Out towards the side, gaze to the mat, shoulder blades down, breathing in when the knee's underneath you. Exhaling as you lift that leg to the side. Good. Find your control. Exhale as you lift and down and lift and lower. Gorgeous. All righty. So from here, folks, I would like you to go back to your first leg. Now it's been slightly mobilized. This right leg, okay, it's going to come out to your side. Okay, now you might not get it at the right angle of your hip in alignment with your knee. I totally get that. Okay, so it's a straight leg. Now that leg might be a little bit further back here. That is fine. Okay, so if it needs to be kind of out at 45 degrees, that is fine. But try and still think that you're not then lifting your hips at the moment, okay? So your hips are facing the floor and your legs out to the side. And it's kind of a bit of an anchor, really, all righty? So once it's there, just leave it be. All right, so right leg is out. Can you lift, please, your right hand and touch your right shoulder? Okay, so you're looking down towards the mat. We're just building slightly on last week's work. Okay, so looking down towards the mat. I would like you now to lift your right elbow, right shoulder, and look towards your right side of the room and open up on that right side. Good, nice. Come back to center, pop your right hand down. Now, here's the rub. Left hand touches your left shoulder. Now see how much you can look towards the left side. I'm guessing probably not as high. So lifting left elbow, left shoulder, look to the left. And come back into center, switching to the right. Nice and slow, calm movement as you look towards the right and lift. Good. And back to center and to the left with the left shoulder, lifting the left elbow, left shoulder, left gaze, and come back to center. Okay, go ahead and draw that leg back in underneath you. And we're going to see how we feel on the other side. So left leg, I'm turning, you stay where you are. Left leg is now out to the side. Again, see how this hip feels. Maybe it can be in alignment with your knee. Maybe you need to have it out towards the back of you. That is fine too. Trying to feel like you're nice and upright still. You're not going to on a complete wonk to the right side of the body, okay? So let that leg be like a little bit of a kickstanding, supporting you. Take your left hand to your left shoulder. And now let's go ahead and lift that left arm. Up goes the elbow, up goes the shoulder, up goes the gaze and the rib cage. Look to the left. Breathe in and the hands come back to the floor. And then right hand to right shoulder. Go ahead and look on the right. How does it feel here? Any easier? Have you got more range? Do you notice any difference, any tightness? Back to the left. Okay, opening up through the side of the body, gorgeous. And to center. And one more time on the right. And come back to center, bringing your knees back in and underneath into 4-point kneeling. Okay, popping your hands down, so your elbows down now into triangles for me. Let's take the weight off the wrists. Either making fists, interlace the fingers, or one fist and the other one cups over, I don't mind, but just keeping those hands maybe a little bit off sphinx, okay? So just on the little finger end of your knuckles, fists if you can. Go ahead now for me and extend your right leg out towards the back of the mat and lift your right leg towards the back of the mat, towards your bottom height and reach. Reach, reach, reach. Nice. Flex your knee, so you've now got a right angle. Flex your ankle, so you've got a right angle there too. Nice. Okay, belly's in, shoulder blades back and down. I want you to press the sole of your foot as if you're trying to touch the sky. Now what I'd like you to do is now take your knee over to the left side of your mat. You're going to have to cross over your left shin. Okay, so you're still at a right angle at the knee, but you're just crossing over as if you're trying to stop yourself from going for a wee. And then press the sole of the foot back up towards the sky. Squeeze the glutes. Now the knee crosses over your left calf or shin, yes, and squeeze inner thighs and then press back up towards the sky with the sole of the foot. Okay, we've got 6 more crossing over. So we're using our inner thigh as we cross over. We're using our glutes as we head up. We've got our lovely lumbar pelvic stability here. We've got your lovely back supported, the pelvis staying stable. And we've got 2 more. Okay, and last one. All righty, bringing that knee underneath you. Square up the pelvis, square up the whole of the body, and send your left leg away behind you, reaching that leg nice and long, up towards bottom height, maybe a little bit higher if you can, but don't dump into that lower back. Tummy's in tight, neck's long. Bending at the knee to 90 degrees, bend at the ankle to 90. Okay, good, nice. Now from here, I should think your glutes are squeezing. Now we then send that left knee crossing over the right lower leg or calf muscle towards the right side of the mat. Squeeze inner thighs and then press the sole of the foot up to the sky, squeezing the glutes. Well done. And across with a squeeze and up. Okay, so as I say, belly's still in. Shoulder blades back and down, guys. Nice. And press high. And across and high, and we've got 1 more here as you squeeze the glutes and high five, and cross the lower leg. And bring your leg back in underneath you. Pop back into child's pose for a moment, or whatever comfortable stretch you would like to take. If you'd rather cat stretch, you're more than welcome here. You would like perhaps to have your knees wide, that is cool. You can have your hands forward, that is fine. With the bottom up, elbows down, I don't mind. Breathe. Okay, walking your hands back into 4-point kneeling. We are, I'm afraid, one more set of pieces away in 4-point, and then we're done for the moment. So that was a small little sneaky interlude. I would like you now to take your right leg one more time out to the side. Now this hip has had a moment just to kind of recover. The leg is to the side, and we are going to just modify this piece slightly. As before, leg can be down towards the back corner of the mat. I don't mind. Alrighty, we're now going to take ourselves into a full arm opener. So I would like you now to take your right arm out towards the side and into your T position. Now go ahead and lift the whole of the body up towards the side. So instead of touching the top fingers to the tips, the shoulders, feel the whole body now stretching from hand to hand. Reach hand to hand and open the front of the pelvis. Well done. Come back down, hands comes onto the mat. Left arm out to T. Breathing in, exhale. Now let's open on the left. Reach and stretch. And back through to center. One more time on the right. Arm out to T. Breathing in, up we go with the hand. Reach from fingertip to fingertip, all the way through, pressing in that left shin still slightly too, guys. Feel that connection with the mat. And down. And let's see, on the left, out to T. Breathe in, exhale, lift. Grow through the crown of the head. Press into that left foot slightly, or left shin, and come back to center. And go ahead and switch sides straight away. Left leg out to side. Left leg out to side. Okay, tummy's in, shoulder blades down, necks are long. Go ahead and take your left arm out to T. Let's do our nice favorable arm first. Breathe in, lifting your straight arm to T, and then up to sky with rotation. Open and reach from fingertip to fingertip. Gorgeous. And come back down. Now maybe slightly more restricted. Right arm to T. Breathe in, and up we go. And lift. Reach from fingertip to fingertip. Press down into the shin on the mat. Wonderful. One more time on the left. Breathe in and grow through the spine, and then through your rotation. Nice. Well done, guys. And final one on the right there, onto the side. Breathe in, exhale, and lift. And come back through to center. Back into 4-point kneeling. Okay, bring your feet fairly close together, maybe a little bit closer than hip width, and take your hands forwards. And we're going to come up into V stretch or downward dog. So floating your knees, your head comes to settle between your elbows, and shoulder blades back and down. Just gently pedaling your legs for me to stretch the lower extremities of your legs, the calves, the back of the knee joints. Well done. Okay, now they're a little bit warm. I'd like you now to step your legs wide, so you're just on the inside edge of your mat. Okay. We won't hang out here too long, I promise. Can you pull the belly in? And can you go ahead and lift the heels a little bit higher, perhaps into your high heels, a little bit higher. And we're going to now see if we can just gently shift your weight into your left hand. Okay, left hand, left shoulder. And I want you to take your right hand and reach, if you can, towards your left foot. So a diagonal reach. Perhaps you can reach behind the calf and grab hold of that. Perhaps you can reach behind the ankle. Perhaps it's just a reach to the knee. Bring yourself back into your start position. Shoulder blades back, lifting up your bottom, tummy in. Weight into your right hand and reach to your, with your left hand to your right foot, ankle, shin, knee. And if you want to grab hold and look under your armpit, you can. We're going to do 2 more. If you're feeling this is a little bit too much, do walk yourself back to center and then release that down for child's pose to regroup if you want to, guys. Okay, please do. All right, you recognizing this is a higher level. Come back into center now. Everyone can walk your legs back together, softening your knees to the mat, and indeed also back into child's pose where we regroup. Okay, child's pose. If you want to extend the arms again, everyone can do something different here, whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, nice. Alrighty, so I'm going to bring you up into sitting. So walk your hands back towards your knees and come into sitting. So if I can ask everyone to have their legs towards the left and yourself towards the right, okay, so we can kind of get our left right thought coordinated. I'd like you to have your hand, okay, so your right hand out quite a long way away for you here. Okay, so get that hand quite a long way away. Okie dokie. Now these legs, we know mermaid is having her legs tucked in. So what I want you to do is once you've kind of got yourself in this position, I want you to send your legs quite a long way away. Okay, so your hand is nearly at one end of the mat and your feet are nearly at the other, to be honest. Okay, so you've taken up all the space. Find the space of decompression in the spine, nice and lifted. All right, your neck is included in that, remember, of course. Shoulder blades are back and down so the collarbone is open. Top leg, okay, this top knee, I want you to lift towards the sky. So you've kind of got this foot now, this top leg, your leg is now planted on the mat. And our front leg is just softly bent towards us. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take our left arm and pop it out towards the side. This is a stage slightly higher, so I'll give you some modifications that we've been doing, but we are progressing. We're working forwards with our work. Okay, so first level. Okay, you have your knee down. We are going to simply lift our left arm into arc. And then we're going to see if we can press into that sole of the foot there on the back there. And we're going to see if we can lift the bottom slightly. Okay, and then come back down and start again. Okay, so how was that for everyone? Okay, so first of all, arc, lifting the rib cage slightly, then just lifting the bottom, your front knee stays slightly down as a lever and the bottom lifts. Okay, and down. Okay, so this is first one, pausing here. If immediately there's alarm bells, you're not comfortable with this full arm, you can modify with the arm down. Okay, so you can still do this here. Okay, so please do that as a modification as well as the knee being down. However, we are working on this lovely shoulder. Tune into the satellites. You're still there. Right, okay, here we go. All righty, so we're going to be taking ourselves into another level. Be careful with the arm. Now we're going to think about this lower leg coming off the mat. As it does so with the bottom, we're going to straighten both legs, and you have to press into your legs and lift into your side arc. Okay, so this is a higher level. All righty, so we're just going at it nice and slowly. Janet, don't look at me in disbelief. You'll be all right. See how we get on. First stage, if you want to, is over into arc. Lift your hip. And then let's go and see if you can lift that bottom knee. And as you do so, you straighten both legs and press into both feet on the mat. Then you let the lower leg bend, that comes down to soften on the mat. As your bottom comes down, you end up in your start position. Okay, does this make sense? Over into arc. First stage, if you wish, is the lift of the bottom. If you want to go straight into the full lift, you can. Lift in the lower leg, you press and extend both legs. Nice, and into your side arc, and plank, and down. Now let's see if we can find the flow. Either with the lower leg lifting or on the floor. Let's go. We're going to do two more. Lifting into arc, reaching and lifting the rib cage, and down with grace. Last one, breathe in, exhale. Really lovely. Well done, guys. Nice modifications of the arms, keeping that lower leg down if we need to, and release. Okay, gorgeous. We're switching sides. Okay, so as you meander to the other side of your mat, give your shoulders a bit of a roll if they need to, and let's build this up one more time. Okay, so now you've got your hand right over to the left side of the mat, and your feet are kind of just from mermaid, extend them out, and then we'll reorganize ourselves. Okay, so feet towards the end of the mat on the right, hand towards the end of the mat on the left. Now, top leg, you're going to just lift that top leg and plant the foot on the mat. Okay, that's your little anchor. The lower leg just stays exactly where it is. Neck is long, find the decompression of the spine. Lift, lift, lift. Nice. Hand on the right facing me. First things first, don't forget you can do this. If you know this is your problem shoulder. Okay, first thing first, into arc. Arm over and just feel the stretch. From here, pause. Now, can you press into the foot, sorry, it's on the floor and on the mat, and just lift your bottom slightly. This knee stays down. That's a gentle support to begin with. As the bottom floats down, open the arm to the side, breathing in. Exhale into arc. Break it down. Breathing in and lift your buttocks. Nice. And down. Okay. So as always, pausing here, we can then take it higher. You can maybe do it higher. with your leg arm down. So you can still go into your lifted arch, okay, with your arm down. All righty, so you can still do that. Or we can bring ourselves into the full side arc and side plank. When you're ready, breathing in. Exhale, let's go ahead into arc. Lift the buttocks, let's just break it down. That might be enough for you. If you can, you're going to extend now both legs so they're straight, they're squeezing next door to each other. Yes. Let the lower knee come towards the floor, and it's a gentle shift of your bottom down onto the mat with control. Nice. Breathing in, break it down, arm over. Okay, well done. Lifting the bottom. Pausing here if you need to, or lifting the lower leg so it comes to meet your upper leg glute and squeeze and reach with the hips, with the ribs and down. Okay, let's find the flow if you want to. Choose your level. We're going to do 2 more, just flowing over into your lovely lift, or just modify as needs be. Last one, breathing in. This is a strong arm piece. You're doing really, really well. Gorgeous. Well done, guys. Up and over. Modify as need be, or rest. All of us resting down there. That's gorgeous. Well done, folks. Okay, so from here, we're going to bring ourselves into high kneel. So I'd like you just to bring yourselves forward into high kneel. All righty, so just high kneel here for the moment. I'm going to get us just to do some double arm floats. So just breathing in, arm float, and send the arms behind you, sweeping around just to reset those shoulder blades back and down. One more time, breathing in, lifting through the crown of the head. And then 2 in the opposite direction, please, for me. Breathing in and double arm float. Back behind you, up and over. That's it, nice. For our last one. Gorgeous. Okay, fantastic. All righty, folks. So we're going to just take ourselves into a side lying. All righty, so now mobilize those shoulders. Just side lie. The arms can be out towards the side. So your arms can be either fully extended with the cushion between your ear and your what's this? Shoulder, yes. Or you can have yourself supported. Legs. Okay, we're familiar with our 45 degrees of these knees towards the side. Okay, so your knees aren't up to your chest. They're kind of hanging out halfway down the mat. Nice. Okay, so hips are stacked. Lovely one stacked one on top of the other. Make sure you don't roll back for me. Your kneecaps should be right in front of each other. Remember, you've got a little ruler. A little 30 centimeter ruler just in front of those kneecaps. They are going to slide. It's going to slide. This top knee is going to slide up and down that that ruler. Okay, so it doesn't roll backwards. Your top knee is going to slide up this little ruler and back down. Now, this is just while I just get you to regroup. Okay, shoulder blades are back and down, belly is in. Your ankles and feet are together for the moment, and you're just lifting that top knee up and down the ruler. Okay, nice. We're going to do 2 more as you lift your exhaling. And this last one, I'd like you to hold the leg high. Okay, so pause here with the knee elevated. Double check these knees are against that little ruler stick in front there. Keep that top knee exactly where it is. I'd like you now to lift your foot, the top foot, so it's at the same height as your bottom. So you've created almost like a mirror image with your legs. Okay. Now, if you can, you're now imagining this top hip is absolutely pinned where it is. But what I would like you to do is lift this top leg all by itself in exactly the same shape up as high as you will go without lifting and leading with the heel, without twisting through the hip, and then lower it back down to start position. Breathing in, exhale as you lift to the side and back down. Okay, so we've increased our starting range. Okay, or we've increased this by getting to our original end of range, sorry, and then we've gone beyond. Okay, so now we're lifting higher. Now keep space in this upper body, okay? So try not to crunch in with your obliques. You're still long through the crown of the head. As you lift, we're isolating more intensely these outside glute and the hip muscles. Okay, well done, and lift. Now, of course, again, if this is not for you, please go back to your standard clam with your heels and ankles together and just sliding that top kneecap up and down the ruler. Okay, so we've got 4 more. Exhale as you lift. Nice. This is really nice. There's nice control and awareness so you're not twisting that top knee. Last 2. Gorgeous. Last 1. And pause there. Brilliant. Bring that leg back down. Okay, fantastic. Swing both legs now so that both feet are at that front corner of the mat. Okay, so you as a body, as a torso, as an arm, as a shoulder are down the middle of the mat, And then you take a little angle off from the hip out to the front corner. Got it. Nice. Okay. Regroup. Body's nice and long. Lift that top leg now to hip height for me. Okay. So you're going to need to press this lower leg down on the mat. Make sure there's some nice connection. Flex your top foot so that your toes are pulling towards your knees. And then bring your top foot forwards. Go into point and send that top leg behind you. Okay. Well done. Sweeping forwards in flexion. And sending the leg behind you in point. And forwards. And back. Nice. And forwards. Now we're trying to think about this upper body being nice and controlled. You're working your glutes as you send the leg behind you. And you're working your core and your hip flexors as you come forwards. And this last time, we're going to pause with the leg in parallel with your lower leg. Pausing here. I'd like you now to use your top toe, lifting your knee. We're going to point towards the inside edge of our lower knee joint. Okay. Now, what's happened to this torso? Do you feel like you've crunched down here? Pull through the crown of the head. Pull your neck nice and long. Nice. This top leg is going to extend towards the sky now, if you can, as much as you can. Well done. And then flex at the foot and pull down with the heel. Well done. Into point to the inside of your lower knee joint. Well done. Into extension and then flexion, pull down with the heel. One more time, in point to the knee. Nice, and up, and flexion, and down. Pausing down, we should still have a nice flexion at the ankle. Let's go ahead and lift in flexion, and point to the lower knee, and extend that leg straight. Come up in flexion. We've just got two more. Point to the inside knee, and straight, up in flexion. Point to the inside knee, and straight. Nice. Okay. Stack those hips one more time. Just regroup, one leg on top of the other, both legs nice and long. Now we're going to go into our high kick. All right, we're doing lots of mobilization for the leg, for the hip. High kick, remember, allows you to roll slightly onto that back leg, back bottom. So as you go, ordinarily when we lift to the side, we get our kind of end of range probably just above hip height, there or thereabouts, for most of us. With high kick, I don't mind if you roll slightly back because we're trying to get that leg open as much as possible. And guess what? We've just been there with our leg lifts. Okay, so you should be nice and warmed up. So let's see. We're going to try first off with the high kick. So go ahead and lift towards your maximum range. You might feel a slight roll of the pelvis. That's okay. Come back and glue the legs together. We're just going to do one more slow. Lift and grow through the crown of the head. Use your leg to get that height and length. That's it. Now we're going to go a little bit quicker for 8. Are you ready? Breathe in. Exhale. And 1. And down. And 2. And down. And 3. And 4, breathe in, down, exhale for 5 as you kick, 6 and 7 and 8. Well done, gorgeous. Adding everything in together now for our single big leg circle. Are you ready? We're going to draw your leg out forwards towards me. We're going to lift that leg towards the ceiling, let the leg come behind you, and then sweep back in. Press the lower leg down, guys. Well done. We've got 2 more this direction. Big leg circle. And last one. Forward up, behind and round, and pause to reverse for 3. Send the leg behind you, up and round, and 2. Gorgeous. Last one. Nice. And then pausing there, bring both knees into your chest. Nice. Okay, we're going to sweep straight onto the side. So swiveling around to the other side. First of all, we are working on our clams. So you're going to make sure that you're centered down the body, centered down the mat with your upper body down to the hips. Hips are stacked. Knees are roughly 45 degrees, and replace the little ruler just in front of those knees. Good. Looking out to the horizon if you can, shoulder blades back and down. And when you're ready, feet together, let's just go ahead and start that gentle lift of the knee and check in your mind's eye that you're sliding that top knee up the ruler. Yeah, okay, so that just stops you from pulling away and back, hopefully. Okay, lifting as you exhale, and down, and lift, and down. Okay, this next one we're going to lift and pause. Okay, so just pausing here with your lift, checking that knee is still kind of in alignment with the ruler. Yes, okay. Lift the lower foot now to meet the top knee. So we've got this mirror image. Now, remember, hips stay exactly where they are, lifting this leg with no twist to the knee or the ankle. You're from the thigh bone as you lift this mirror image up leg up and down. So first of all, you're starting at hip height, and then we're lifting a little bit higher, if that's available to you. Do not get higher by trying to reach with the foot or extending the leg. You're keeping that lovely mirror image in isolation. Okay, good. Looking out to the horizon, still shoulder blades back and down, tummy is in. As you exhale, lift, belly in, even pelvic floors. Maybe not. Exhale if you can, tummy in, and pelvic floors. We've got 4 more. And down. Tummy's in, lift for 3. And 2. And down. And last one. And release down. Gorgeous. Okay, extend both legs down to that front corner of the mat. Remember, nothing's changed up here in the torso. Nice. Okay, legs are nice and long. Alrighty, press down that lower leg slightly into the mat for me. Go ahead and lift the top leg to hip height. Flexion at the ankle, so toes are pulling up. Stretch the calf muscles, yes? All right, breathe in. Exhale, draw that leg forwards as much as you can. Breathing in, and then point your toe and send that leg behind you to the back corner of the mat. Into flexion, come forwards with a sweep forwards. Breathing in, exhale, send that leg behind you. Stretch, nice. Of course, trying again not to move the lower spine. So think about this as being stretching the muscles at the hips and around, well, the whole of the hip joint, which includes the glutes. Not by weaving your upper body forwards and backwards. Nice, well done, better. Last 2. And final 1. And then bring your leg to the center, pausing here. Regroup if needs be. Just check you're nicely aligned. Lifting now your top knee, your top toe to touch your inside of the lower knee joint. Your top knee slightly elevated towards the sky. Well done. Now we're going to breathe in and exhale as we then lift our top leg into your extension and flex at the ankle. Pull down with the heel. Really pull down. Nice. Into point to the inside of the low knee joint and into lovely extension as much as you can. Stretching now into flexion and down. One more time into the knee. Stay open in this upper body. Keep pulling yourself through the crown of the head and down. Pausing here in flexion. We're going to lift in flexion, so toes are still to the sky. Let's go ahead up with the leg into high five of the ceiling. Point towards your knee and then extend the leg out straight. Flexion at the ankle and lift. Point to your knee and out. Last time in flexion and up. Point to your knee and regroup again. Okay, into our high kick. All right, so again, don't mind if you go roll over slightly. When you're ready, breathing in, we're going to take that leg up and we'll do 2 slow ones to begin with. A slight roll onto your back bottom cheek, that is a low bottom cheek, that's fine. And square up the hips, breathing in. Exhale as you lift. Okay, so you feel comfortable here. We're going to take it into 8 more speedy ones. Are you ready? Breathe in. Let's go. And we're going to go head up and down and 7 and down and 6 and down. Breathe in together. Exhale as you lift. This is now 4. Breathe in when they're together. Exhale as you lift. Last 2. Last 1. And pause as we bring it all in together for hip health. We're going to take our leg now out to the, towards the front and lift now for our big leg circles up to the sky. We've been there. We know that range of movement is okay. We've been here at the back. We're okay here too. And sweep round for 2 more. Up and behind and together. Coming forwards and up and behind and reverse direction when you're ready. Breathing in. Send that leg behind. Reach the hip flexors. Over we go and to the front. And 2 more. And final one. Gorgeous. And pause there. Rolling onto your tummies, please, for me. Arms are wide, legs are wide. Okay, so we've done lots of work on preparation with our swimming. We're going to go into the full swim this morning. Your head can be up or down. If you would rather rest the head, keep it down, please. First things first, reach all your fingertips and legs away from your torso, imagining everything stretching out as much as you can. Land grab as much as you can. Belly is in, and perhaps start to feel a little tiny press on the pubic bone, maybe the hip bone slightly more than around the belly. Yeah, so the belly is trying to pull in. Shoulder blades are slightly down and neck is long still, even in this position. Go ahead, lift your right leg and left arm, and if you would like to, your forehead as well. Once you've come into this lifted position, check your belly is in. We are then going to now hold the head high and switch your arm and leg. So one arm is, the other arm is up and the other leg is up. Okay, head stays high. Breathe in, exhale and switch. Breathe in, exhale and switch. Are they long? Long through the arms, long through the legs. We're switching now. We're going to head a little bit faster now into this. So we're going to just breathe in, exhale and switch, 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 switch. Switch, switch, switch. If you can, that belly is in, using those glutes. Long, long arms looking down at the mat, or head down if you wish. Switch, 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 switch for 4, switch, switch for 3, switch, switch for 2, switch, switch for 1. And then let everything come back down and on the mat. Draw your legs together, please. Pop your hands by your shoulders, tuck your toes under, and ease yourself into 4-point kneeling. All righty, from here. All right, folks, we're going to just gently let the gaze head down towards your kneecaps. And now go ahead and separate the shoulder blades, lift the mid-spine, and maybe tuck your tailbone under a little bit more. Perhaps now bringing your gaze to your pubic bone. Press into the heels of the hands, press into your shins for cat stretch. Take a lovely big breath, and as you exhale, lift your gaze now and let the belly head to the mat. Shoulder blades back and down. Tailbone out. One more time into your cat. And one more time into cow. Wonderful. Pausing in neutral for me if you can. Well done. All righty, so we're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to lift into a V stretch. So gently lifting your bottom towards the sky. This is a very gentle V stretch, so you don't need to press too much onto those toes. Okay, we're just going to pause here for a second and walk our hands slowly back to our toes. We're just inching them back. Now, if you don't want to come up in this way, you're more than welcome to bring yourself into standing however you wish, but please just slowly uncurl. Tummy in, pelvic floor strong, chin into your throat space. You can walk your hands up your legs. You can have knees bent or straight as you restack one vertebrae on top of each other at a time. Back to your center, please. Well done. Feet in parallel. And taking the hands just behind the back of the head for me, please. I would like you to just think about now lateral flexion. Your right elbow is going to ease down towards the floor. Reach with your left elbow to the sky, okay? Think about that left elbow coming up nice and tall. Come back to center. And now breathe in, grow through the spine. And the left elbow heads down. That's the right elbow reaching up as high as it can towards the ceiling. Okay, come back to center. One more time to the right. Pausing here. I want you now to extend both arms out into a straight arm reach. Well done. Bring the hands back behind the back of the temple and behind the back of the head and to center and to the left. Pausing here. Find that lift of the right elbow first and then reaching double arms out to the side. Hands behind the back of the head. And draw yourself back to center. Gorgeous. Arms now releasing down by your side. Wonderful. Reach down to the floor with the fingertips. Allow the weight to rest in the heels. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe in. Grow through the crown of the head. As you exhale, release and relax everything down through the soles of the floor, soles of the feet into the floor. Breathing in and exhale. And one more time, breath in. Exhale, open your eyes, and we are done. Okay, well done, guys. Well done. That seemed to go incredibly fast. Do take a moment just to see if you feel like you've met your intention for another week. I really hope you have. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that class. I hope it got some nice movement through the spine this week. So well done, and I will see you guys whenever it allows us. All right, until next time. Well done, guys. Bye for now. Bye.